management of biomedical waste.
Mm.
The subheadings are overview, what is the need for biomedical waste management, BMW 2016 guidelines, schedules and categories, and what are the steps of biomedical waste management. Coming to the overview, biomedical waste is defined as means of any waste which is generated during the diagnosis, treatment, or immunization of human being or animals, or in research activities pertaining thereto, or in the production or testing of biological. All biochemical waste are hazardous. According to WHO, nearly 85% of all waste generated by hospital is general waste. About 15% of biomedical waste are classified into infectious waste, which comprises 10%, and non-infectious waste such as radioactive and chemical waste, which includes 5%. In a large territory hospital in India, the waste generated is about 1 to 2 kg per bed per day, as against 2.8 kg per bed per day from a similar sized hospital in US. Hospital waste management is a part of hospital hygiene and maintenance activities. In fact, only 15% of hospital waste biomedical waste is hazardous. But when hazardous waste is not segregated at the source of generation and mixed with non-hazardous waste, then 100% waste become hazardous. Coming to need of biomedical waste management. Some of the things are nosocomial infections in patients from poor infection control practices and poor waste management. Injuries can happen from sharp instruments leading to infections to all categories of hospital personnel and waste handlers. There is a risk of infection outside the hospital, general public living in the vicinity of hospital. Risk associated with hazardous chemicals and drugs to person handling waste at all levels. And there is all risk of air, water and soil pollution directly due to waste and due to defective incineration or emission or ash. So these are the some of the things that needed so that there is a need for biomedical waste management. Coming to the guidelines. The rules are passed by Minister of Environment, Forest, Climate Change, Government of India in the year 2016. These BMW guidelines are latest and they are supersession of 1998 guidelines. What are the salient features of these guidelines? The ambient of rules have been expanded to include vaccination camps, blood donation camps, surgical camps, or any other healthcare activity. Pre-treatment of laboratory waste, microbiological waste, blood samples, and blood bags through disinfection and sterilization on site in the manner as described by WHO. The third point is provide training to all healthcare workers and immunize all healthcare workers regularly. Establish a barcode system for bags or containers containing biomedical waste for disposal. Fifth include biomedical waste has been classified into schedules and 4 categories to improve segregation of waste at source. It also to provide a safe, ventilated and secure location for storage of segregated biomedical waste within the premises. And also report any major accidents and remedial measures. Most and not least but important thing is no untreated biomedical waste shall be kept stored beyond a period of 48 hours. Coming to the schedules and categories.
Go ahead.
Schedules, yes sir. There are 4 schedules or parts in BMW rules 2016. Schedule 1 includes part 1 and part 2. That is categorization and management of biomedical waste. In part 1, biomedical waste classified into 4 categories based on the treatment options, which include yellow, red, white, and blue. In part 2, chemical treatment should be done with 1 to 2% sodium hypochlorite, which is amended 2018 rule, having residual chlorine 30% for 20 minutes. However, there is no need for chemical disinfection before incineration except for microbiological, lab, and highly infectious waste. Next thing is syringes should be either mutilated or needles should be cut or stored in tamper-proof, leak-proof, puncture-proof containers. Coming to the categories. What are the various categories available? There are classified into categories and type of bag contained to be used, type of waste, treatment and disposable options. First is yellow. Yellow colored non-chlorinated plastic bags should be used. The type of waste which is segregated include human anatomical waste. That includes human tissue organs, body parts, fetus below the viability period, animal anatomical waste, solid waste. And these are treatment and disposable options include incineration or plasma pyrolysis. That is, plasma pyrolysis is the technique of disposal of plastic waste using plasma torch, device using an arc of plasma in oxygen starved environment. Third thing is solid waste. Items contained with blood, body fluids like dressing, plaster cuts, cotton swabs, bags containing residual or discarded blood or blood products are to be segregated in yellow bag. Fourth thing is expired or discarded medicines. Expired cytotoxic drugs and items are returned back to the manufacturer for incineration at temperature more than 12,000 degrees or to a common biological waste management facility for incineration. These cytotoxic drugs can also be discarded in black bags. Fifth thing, which are categorized in yellow, are chemical wastes. That is, chemical used during biological process are discarded by incineration or plasma pyrolysis. And sixth thing is discarded linen. The discarded linen mattresses, bedding contaminated with body fluids, and they should be disinfected with non-chlorinated chemicals followed by incineration or plasma pyrolysis. Second category is red, which includes plastic waste, which are recyclable. The items include are non-chlorinated bags, containers, which include disposable IV sets, such as bottles, IV sets, catheters, Euro bags, syringes, vacuum with needle cuts, gloves. They should be treated by autoclaving or microwaving and followed by shredding or mutilation or by combination of shredding and sterilization and shredding. Third category is white, that is translucent. These are puncture proof, leak proof, tamper proof containers, which includes needles, syringes with fixed needles, scalpel sets, blades, or any other sharp objects causing cuts or punctures. They are pre-treated with autoclaving or dry heat sterilization, followed by mutilation, shredding, or encapsulation in metal container or cement concrete and sent for final disposal to iron foundries. Fourth category is blue. It includes cardboard boxes with blue colored, making the items include glassware such as broken or discarded contaminated glass, including medicine vials, ampules, except those contaminated with cytotoxic waste, or metallic body implants. The discarded it before discarded, it should be treated by disinfection, especially sodium hypochlorite or autoclaving, and sent for recycling. Coming to this, what are the steps involved in biomedical waste? So first is segregation and pre-treatment of waste. Second thing is collection of segregated waste. That is, this segregated waste should be collected from all over the hospital in waste trolleys. The frequency includes for emergency department 3 times per day, OPD and lab 2 times per day, ward and OT once or thrice a day, depending on waste generated, administrative areas once a day. The third thing is transported of collected waste. The transport the collected waste to collect site in color coded waste trolleys, not stored more than 48 hours at collection site. Fourth thing is weighing of waste bags. Bags are weighed before transportation for final disposable. Yellow waste comes around 300 to 400 kg on an average, red waste 80 to 100, white waste 7 to 8 kg, and blue waste 2 to 3 kgs. Finally, the transportation of final disposable. The steps may vary depending upon the availability of sources in individual hospitals. Finally, what is the need for color coding? Color coding isn't there just for user comfort. It also represents the very basic principle that waste doesn't go to the same place. Different kinds of waste also means different ways of handling them. For example, thinking of hazardous medical chemical waste, it is essential to separate from other types of waste in order to be a safely proceed. Yes, thank you,
Is your daddy doing well?
sir. Sir,
Your father had an angioplasty
ah,
last time.
sir is fine, sir. No problem.
Very good.
Underwent stenting, sir.
Very good. Okay. That was a very good presentation. And usually, why, as anesthesiologists, we should know about that? Why they are asking this question in our theory paper?
Sir, we working in OT now, sir.
Yeah,
We
we
are
are
dealing
working
with
in OT. But this waste
sharp
is
instrument.
created everywhere, not only in OT. It is created
As
in the
a
ward, more in the surgical wards. They remove the dressing, throw it in the bin. So all over the hospital, these wastes are created. But we come across every day this quantity of waste that is produced is much more in the OT compared to all other areas of the hospital. Especially it will be very minimal in the medical wards. And if at all they will be using IV sets and bottles which can be discarded. Next will be the surgical wards where they remove the dressings and the post-operative patients. Pre-operative nothing will be there. Nasogastric tubes, urinary catheters may be discarded. But in the OT, every day we are creating a large amount of biomedical waste. It can be really hazardous to not only the people who are handling it, who are getting exposed to that, but if you carelessly throw it on the public, it will infect the public at large also. So that is the reason why all of us should be aware. Earlier, every hospital during our student days, I remember our hospital had an incinerator at the back, very extreme corner of the hospital campus. And all the waste will be taken there, and whether it is those days, these disposable items were not there. Like syringes were autoclaved or boiled, and needles also were sterilized by boiling in the. Every ward used to have a boiler or a water always will be boiling there, and syringes will be put in that, and we used to reuse the syringes and needles. So
See,
that
that's,
was
that's sir, that is what the strategy they're wanting to do nowadays, isn't it, sir?
yeah. That is
The last class, reuse,
ultimate
recycle, and reduce.
recycle, reduce. That point I think Venkateshwara, you have to add in your answer also. Apart from
yes, sir.
segregation, recycling and reuse also is part of the strategies to dispose or manage the biomedical waste. So from that point also, every one of us should know about how to do that. And it will be more important when you become the managing or coming to the administrative side as a HOD of a department. You are involved in all this biomedical waste management, and every hospital now comes under pollution control board uh, purview, so that they don't just throw their waste tied in bags in every nook and corner of the public streets. So you have to register yourself with the pollution control board and give them the account how much waste is getting generated, and whether you are categorizing them or segregating them in the color coded disposable disposing bags, and then hand over it to the disposing people. So you have to have a tie-up with the pollution control board people who will come and collect it and then do all the disposal of that. So apart from whatever method you mentioned about disposal, about threading and tearing all the sharp ones, using hypochlorite, there is one technique called land refill. Did you mention anything about that?
As a burial or land rainfield, sir. It's only allowed in
Burial
remote
or
or
land
rural
refill
areas.
is also one of the important methods which are used, and all these things add to the global warming. Another important aspect of this management of biomedical waste is if you carelessly throw your, supposing you discard syringes containing propofol without washing it out, that can add to the global warming also. Okay, so careless disposal has two important adverse effects on the society. One is it can be contagious and it can cause infection, spread infection. Another thing is this waste also contribute to global warming effects. So that point also you can add to your answer. To do
I
that,
believe the orthopedic theater contributes maximum to the pollution, I believe,
yes,
according to
yes,
the, what I was reading yesterday. So
okay.
theater contributes maximum. The next comes the neuro. A lot of disposables and other things, and anesthesia, drugs, and other things that they were talking about. But even the total hip replacement, that is maximum work that has been done on total hip replacement, and they found that that produces the maximum wastage.
Yes, yes, yes.
The OTs.
So that will be the. So you have to just mug up all these things and remember that. And don't forget to write about the color coding with yellow, black, red, and white or blue, and what are all the things that will be segregated using this color coding. And color coding is for the less literate or the illiterate theatre people or the ward boys who may not know. So it is one of the easier method to teach them how to segregate at the origin itself by using the color coded bins or the bag. Okay? So that is another reason, not only to identify which category should go to which one, it helps the illiterate people to use them for the specific purpose. I think that we close today. Kamakshi?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Thank you, students. Today was a very interesting, useful session. And sir, questions for the next session, sir, next Tuesday?
Yeah, I will send it to you.
Okay, sir. Okay,
you want
sir.
it Tuesday or next Friday? Okay, you discuss and let me know which one.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much,
Thank
madam.
you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
dear
you,
students.
Kamakshi. Yeah.
Yeah, can we sign off to this meeting, sir?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.